Hello and welcome to Woman to Woman. It's another Saturday. We're glad to be with you all. It's Lady Christine Foster. I'm so glad to have you all with us today. I pray that you have come with a mind to just receive and embrace your womanhood. We come out to air every Saturday at 10 and on our Life Matters show, and then we come out at 2 p.m. every Saturday just to let you all know as women that we are a force to be reckoned with. We have the power to do so many things, and we do it by doing it together. Today, I have a special guest with me on Woman to Woman that's going to come and share her story. We want you all to just be blessed by this woman of God as she comes forth. And I'm going to read her bio, a little bit about her. She is a woman. She is a wife, a mother of five, a business owner, a mentor, author, and a legacy builder. She is the founder of both a profit and nonprofit business. Amanda's heart is postured toward ministry, business, family, and food, which each of her initiatives reflects. Amanda is on a mission to cultivate mindsets, break barriers, and elevate the communities she serves. If you are interested in connecting with Amanda, more with Amanda M. Kidd, please visit https link tree I am Amanda AK. So I ask you all to join with me as we welcome to our show today on Woman to Woman, Amanda Kidd. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, thank you. Thank you
Well,
for having me.
we're so glad that you took the time to join us today for this broadcast. We're honored to have you as well. So, Amanda, my our women that are on this show today, a lot of times, think that sometimes that because we have a family and we have children, that the things that we have, the desires that we might have, we cannot accomplish them because of all of the other responsibilities that we have. And as we were reading your bio today, I hear it and see that you have a profit and a nonprofit. How did you get started with that and also be a mother of five? Share with the ladies.
So, really, my businesses have derived from the needs that I had and the things that we were experiencing within our immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
And our for profit business really came to fruition about 14 years ago. My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And I was, still, and it's probably a little bit longer than that, but when we really started to understand the needs that came along with her diagnosis, she and I began to talk, and she would tell me, you really should, build a service that, would help, others like me. And, she would go to the chemo room and she would, hear and talk, with other patients and hear the needs that they had, hear the things that they were experiencing. And some were similar to hers, but some were a little bit worse than hers because she could still do for herself, but a
Right.
lot of them could not do for themselves. And they didn't have the family, resources to tap into.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Beat the Rush delivery really came, to fruition. And it didn't obviously, happen overnight. It took me really understanding, you know, my purpose in doing the business, what we were really going to offer the community, what was really the need of the communities that we were serving, how we would really get the word out to them. And I can tell you it was not easy because I struggled a lot with me being away from my mom. During that time, we lived about 2 hours away when, I really started thinking about starting the business.
Okay.
And it really bothered me that I couldn't be there all the time for her. And I'm like, how am I going to start a business that's going to help others? And I can't even get to her like I want to get to her. And so I started researching for services like mine to see if, something was available to help her,
Hmm.
even while we were in the building phases of our business. And I couldn't find not one service.
Wow.
And there was no one to run errands, unless it was like a home health provider. And she didn't qualify for a lot of that because they said we, made too much money. So, her insurance wouldn't cover it. Then the services that were available were like services that were orchestrated by like Giant Foods, but they didn't go into the area where she lived.
Hmm.
They were only in the DC area.
Hmm.
And so it was hard, you know, it was a hard pill to swallow to, understand that there was a service that here I am creating a service and, you know, I, I can't even, facilitate
Oh,
it to my
right.
mom.
Hmm.
And sorry, I'm in my office and the lights turn off.
Okay. It's okay.
So I have to keep
It's all
motion.
right.
But so that really, so it took her passing, long story short, it took her passing for me to actually, you know, come to grips with me being able to start the business. And it was very, unfortunate that she was not able to be here to see the things that she imparted into me,
Right.
come to fruition. But it's molded and shaped what we are today and the things that we aspire to do for others, and really just being led by God on how to execute and when to execute certain things in our business,
Right.
has been our main focus. um, if you look at our model and you look at what we do and how we serve the community, a bigger name brand would
Hmm.
come to mind.
Hmm.
And a lot of people say, you should be a lot further, you should be in multiple cities.
Hmm.
But I really wanted to structure this company, to, hear the voice of God, understand where we should go,
Right.
what we should be doing,
Hmm.
when we should be doing it. And that's, the way that, so we've been building slowly.
Right.
And so this would be like our 8th year in business,
Mhm.
this upcoming year.
Oh,
And so, it's been, we had challenges, we've had setbacks, but, we keep, pressing through them.
right.
Being a mom of 5, we have an adult child and we have tweens and, you
Oh.
know, that's graduating out of toddler stage.
Hmm.
So we have the mixture. And three out of the 5 are homeschooled.
Okay.
And so,
Oh,
we
oh,
have, yeah, so we have, a bit of a mixture of things happening, but mindset
mhm.
is really what is needed
Right.
to, grow and build and sustain the balance
Right.
um, that's needed to grow a business, to nurture a business, to, grow a family, nurture a family, and even still maintain, a relationship with the Lord and, be in a right standing place with Him.
Hmm.
Um, it really takes mindset. Like you have to want want to find the balance. You have to want to, find the good and the peace and the positive. You can't dwell on the negative.
Right.
There's so much, that we can point out. And even as parents, we have to discipline and have to correct and have to, put guidelines and boundaries in place.
Hmm.
But we still have to be in a mindset, that no matter what comes, no matter what goes, if this is what God has purpose and willed for me to do, then I'm going to find a way to, be in right standing to
Right.
make it happen.
You know, one of the main scriptures that I still live by, but one that really kept me was, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And raising 9 kids, and a lot of the things that we had to undertake, the churches, we had a couple churches that we were doing. My husband and I have a business, and I was working sometimes out of the home and sometimes in the home, and I always say a woman's work is never done. So men, they go to work, they come home, they may do a little bit around the house, but they're done when they get there. We are, whether we're working on the outside or in or wherever, where our work is never done. So my hat's off to you, because I know that it's not been easy. And now, even now, you as a mother have a part that I did not have, which is COVID, and having your children in your home, more than they're outside of the home. So how are you coping with the COVID situation, when it was a total lockdown, to now where maybe some of the kids are out, and you were saying that you have some that are being homeschooled. How did you deal with that?
It was a challenge.
Mm.
And one of the challenges mainly was because we had just put them in, back in public school
Okay.
literally 3 weeks before COVID was
Wow.
announced. And so it was a challenge because their hopes were up for going to school first off. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, we're going to school. And
Hey.
then to find out 3 weeks later, you're not going to school.
Right.
But I think the biggest challenge was our school district was not prepared, for online
Right.
learning.
Hmm.
And, me being a very involved parent, whether my kids were enrolled in the school system or not, I always had, some form of, involvement in the public school realm. So I've, worked in the school system. I've, volunteered. I've, substituted. I've done all of that. And so I would go to meetings and, because I understood that at any point in time, our situation can change.
Right.
So I need to make sure I know and I'm up to date with what's happening in
Hmm.
our local school system. And one of the things that I advocated for, it was just maybe 18 months before COVID, I vividly advocated for a hybrid model where if a student, let's say, was, homesick,
Right.
and they would be able to log in, to a portal to receive their coursework and receive some form of instructional time
Okay.
while they're homesick. And they looked at me like I had two heads. They said, why would we ever do that? We
Right.
would never invest in something like that.
Hmm.
And then 18 months later,
Here we are.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, I know for them that that was a hard pill to swallow, and they were not prepared. And they went through organizational changes. So that was an even more burden on the students. And so, with them transitioning the way that they learned prior to COVID, and then, how we kind of structured their learning, it was completely different. And it did, create some setbacks and ambitions and, them wanting to learn, because it's like, well, the teachers don't really have um, their heads wrapped around on how to teach us virtually. A
Right.
lot of times it was more disciplining the kids online,
Hmm.
that were not focused, that were not showing up to, to the screen to,
Right.
participating.
Hmm.
So for us, we had to, take some time and just, rethink how their learning would go.
Right.
And we enrolled them into a different program that gives them more of a instructional situation online. They have videos, they have different courseworks, that everything is housed on the online platform. And it's something that, we believe is going to, propel them, for that self-driven success.
Right.
and really, learning and knowing how to dig deep and to, tap into their strengths.
Right. hmm So now the kids, are they all back in school now? You said you have three at home that you're homeschooling. So the
Mhm.
others, they're all in school now?
So the adult, she's,
Yeah.
online
Oh,
college and
right.
all that, but then we have one that's in kindergarten, and he's the only one in school right now.
Okay. So now that they've gotten that, well, one good thing was the fact that your children were already being homeschooled. So, that was probably a good thing for you. And then your daughter, your oldest daughter, probably being nurtured under you all, and you're teaching on how to use, using the computer and doing things, looking for researching and things like that, kind of prepared her for college. And now you have a little small person who is in kindergarten. And I've known you and your husband for some years now, and I've always been very proud of the way you all have taken, to trying to be parents, because there's a lot of young people who are parents, but they're not really being parents to their children. Some of them are trying to live their lives vicariously through their kids, or they're not taking on the responsibility that I am a parent now, so I have to put this aside. I need to be a mom, or I need to be a dad. So I want to applaud you and your husband, brother Kid, elder Kid, um, because you all have done a wonderful job with your children. And I think you're very, very good parents. My husband and I have always talked about, how you all, kind of basically weather the storms. And I know, being a parent, we know, being parents and raising children and what we went through. So just to watch you all as young people, taking care of your responsibilities and doing the best that you can with what you have. And we know that it is all because of God, that you're
Yes.
standing here, that you're able to do the things that you're doing. So Beat the Rush was the first business, and that's the nonprofit, correct?
That's the for profit.
That's the for profit. Okay. So Beat the Rush,
Yes.
first one, because I remember when you told me about you're starting the Beat the Rush, and it's been some years ago, and I didn't realize that it was 8 years already. Um,
Yes.
I'm I was thinking about that, the fact that the Lord allowed your mother to be the one to plant the seed for you to start this, to show the need. So sometimes God allows things to happen. We don't understand why, they're happening, but he says all things work together for the good, so he was able to bring good out of the tragedy, that you were able to start it. And I believe that as you keep on moving forward, because 8 is a new beginning, so that means that God is getting ready to do some more. He's going to stretch, Beat the Rush. That you've weathered some storms with it, and you've continued to do, and seek God about it. I do know that you are a young woman who loves to seek God and ask Him for His divine order, and that's the main key, is timing. Timing for everything that you do, everything that we do in life. We need to have God's timing, and if He's for it, He will make sure that it's taken care of. So I want you to continue in the for-profit Beat the Rush. So, say for instance, there's somebody on the air that maybe has a family member that is in need of your services. Would you tell them briefly what your services are underneath Beat the Rush, and how that they could access those services?
Absolutely. So we are a concierge, personal shopping and food delivery service.
Mhm.
So our specialty really caters around creating a plan for you and your family. Basically, if you have, need of pickup from the grocery store, if you have need of laundry pickup, dry cleaning pickup, pharmacy pickup, we would take care of that for you. So you would think of us as, in the corporate world, a personal assistant.
Okay.
And so, but we're on a more personal level, taking care of your home needs. And if you are an entrepreneur and you have needs within your business, and you're growing, we take care of those needs as well. And as far as like events and food delivery, we help with event hospitality. So if you need a large catered, food order pickup, supplies for your event, we would assist with that as well. And we pretty much tailor our scheduling to your needs. So we are on an as needed basis, not so much as on demand, like some of the food services that are out today where you can deliver, it's there within 50, you can order and it's there within like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
We are on a more reservation base. So we really take the time to learn and to know, what it is that your needs are and how we can really serve you.
Okay.
And right now we have what it's called we have a website. So
Right.
that's beatthirushdelivery.com. And on there, you can go and download our app. And
Okay.
our app Radius, once you download it, you select us, Beat the Rush Delivery, as your personal shopper. Then you would input your location. It'll show you the radius on the map where we deliver to. If it's outside of the radius, then we just discuss, your needs.
Right.
And so we pretty much serve Maryland, Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Delaware.
Okay.
And so that is, our service area currently.
That's awesome. Very good. I'm so glad to, just to see the growth. Because like I said, remember when you started it and you were sharing with us, what your vision was, and 8 years is a big thing. You ought to be proud of the fact that you all have stuck through it. 7 years is complete. Now we're going for the new beginning, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what is coming next for Beat the Rush. We're going to take a brief commercial break, and then we're going to come back and have Amanda talk about her nonprofit, which is one of the newest ventures that she's taken. And we're going to talk about that very shortly. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back to Woman with yours truly, Lady Christine Foster, and my guest, Amanda Kidd. Today, we're talking to Sister Amanda about some of the businesses that she has. We as women have so many dreams, so many things that we are capable of doing. And sometimes, a lot of time, we are sitting on those gifts. We are sitting on those businesses and those ideas, and we're not putting them to work. And we're hoping through Woman to Woman, and maybe even through this segment, that we can encourage somebody else who has an idea that somebody needs. See, a lot of times we don't think that somebody needs what we have, but if God gave it to you, it is given to you for a reason. And we want to encourage you to get up and do something with what God gave you. So, Sister Amanda just shared with us her first for-profit business, which is Beat the Rush. And now she's going to share with us the nonprofit. We got about maybe another 5 minutes left here that we want her to share with us about her nonprofit. So, Sister Amanda, take it away.
Yeah, so we have had a wonderful opportunity with our for-profit Beat the Rush Delivery to manage and oversee the startup of a shared kitchen space.
Okay.
In Cambridge, Maryland. It will be a commercial grade kitchen that will provide access to training, workforce development, in the culinary arena, hospitality arena, and it will afford an opportunity for organizations to have a commercial kitchen space that they can use to, build programs within their organization centered around food and hospitality.
That's awesome. So when has it actually started already? Or
So, yeah, so the location that we will be housed in, it was the former Phillips Packing House
okay.
here in Cambridge, Maryland. And that packing house had been vacant for almost 60 years. And so they have taken and preserved it,
Mhm.
what could be preserved, and now they have revitalized it to the point of that there will be additional tenants and retail space, event space in the building, and then along with our kitchen space. So it is a community of businesses, organizations. The Department of Housing and Community Development is actually moving their operations into the facility as well. So
Awesome.
it is, it is community and economy, the local economy,
Mhm.
entrepreneur, business, family oriented, just, a great resource for the community that will be coming into the packing house.
Awesome. That is great. Do you have anybody that's already started, learning? That maybe any people that have already signed up for the program?
So with Beat the Rush, we have always had the food,
Mhm.
hospitality, culinary component.
Right.
So because naturally we're overseeing the project, we have been doing virtual cooking classes.
Okay.
And so those cooking experiences are available on our website. And so that will be one of the, type of programs and activities that will take place. And
Mhm.
then we do have some founding members that are starting to come on board. So we are welcoming founding members, which is comprised of businesses, individuals, and they either have a food culinary program component to their organization, or they will actually be a food business.
Mhm.
And if you're an individual, but you do not have a food business, but you are interested in food and hospitality education, then you can also become a founding member through that way as well.
Wow, that is so awesome, Amanda. I'm really, like I said, I can't say more than I am already, that we're very proud of what you're doing. And I'm just glad to see it took years. See, a lot of times we do things and people come back and say, wow, this is great. But they don't realize how long it's taken you. So you've already done 7 years, we're into year 8. And just from the vision that, or the need from your mother, this has planted a seed and grown to where it is today. And I'm looking for, as you all continue, I believe that some of the things that people have already spoken, it's going to be in different cities. It's going to be duplicated, not just in Cambridge or not just in Delaware. It's going to be other places. And I'm really praying that for the success of what you're doing, because I know you have the heart for people. You and your husband both, you all come from a great ministry. Tell everybody who your pastor is.
Yes, Bishop Keith Cornish of Greater Chief Cornerstone Temple Church in
Yeah.
Cambridge, Maryland.
Amen. He's an awesome man of God, and Lady Cornish, Mother Cornish, she's an awesome woman of God. And you all definitely have a great church family, and we're glad to call part of our family as well. And
Yes.
I am just so glad and honored, as I've said before, that you have joined us and taken the time to tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and encourage some of the other ladies that are out there who have a business in their mind, and maybe they're working it and writing their vision right now on paper. Go ahead and write it. Don't despise small beginnings. Get started doing whatever is in your heart. If God put it there, if He planted the seed, it's there for a reason. So make sure that something happens with it. We hope that you all have enjoyed us and this segment today. And Amanda, we thank you one more time for joining us. Please tell us what your website is again for those that are listening.
Yes. So for our for profit business, it's www.beatthirushdelivery.com.
Okay.
And then for our nonprofit, it's for 411 Kitchen, it's www.411.kitchen.
All right. So everybody, make sure you take that down. And if you miss it, you can always go back and listen to a replay. and it's on YouTube. We're on Roku TV. We're on our website, which is pogbn.com. You can go out and see this seminar or our service, or I'm always thinking church because that's where I'm at all the time. But you'll be able to go back and look at this and take down, and please look up Sister Amanda on Facebook, Amanda Kidd. And is there Beat the Rush on Facebook as well?
Yes, I'm on Facebook as Amanda M. Kidd.
Okay.
And then Beat the Rush delivery is just Beat the Rush Delivery.
All right.
And that's on Facebook and Instagram.
Mhm.
And then 411 Kitchen is 411 Kitchen spelled
Okay.
out. And that's on Facebook and Instagram as well.
All right. So we want you all to support her business and her business idea. It's a great work. She's doing a great work. And if for some reason you feel led to sow a seed into what she's doing, this is a great place to sow a seed. I wouldn't tell you to put your money anywhere. But Sister Amanda, I say Sister Amanda because I know her from church as well. But this is a great place to sow seed and work. So Amanda, thank you so much for joining us today. And we pray that you and the work that you and your family are doing will be blessed. God bless you.
Thank you so much. You too.
We hope that you all have enjoyed today's segment of Woman to Woman. Again, I can't stress more than ever that if God has put something in your heart, that there is a vision or a dream, something that's been bugging you, it keeps you awake, you can't go to sleep. It's time to get to work and do what God has assigned your hands to do. And I'm talking to you as well as myself. I have many things, many tablets. We write down all these different things and we have to put them to action. Somebody is waiting on the dream, the vision, the business, the seminar, whatever it may be. Somebody is waiting on you. And so am I. So get busy and let's do what is in our hearts to do. May God bless you all. Continue to join us on the Power of God Network for Woman to Woman every Saturday at 2 p.m. Have a wonderful day.